Welcome to If You Haven't Been There podcast with your host, Devan-Lepinski. Hello, this is Devan-Lepinski, and If You Haven't Been There podcast. Today I want to talk about sobriety, and I have a guest, Cailey, Miss Cailey, good friend of mine that's been through that. Been through the sobriety journey since the beginning with me, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Cailey. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I want to talk about some sobriety. It's going to be fun, right? We talk well together, so let's just go for it. Well, first off, how long have you been sober?
I think about 120 days, roughly in there.
How does that make you feel?
Good.
Good? Will you pull that mic up a little closer? Just talk right into it.
Is that better?
Yep, it will help.
Okay.
So how many days again?
About 120.
120 days. Has it been hard?
No.
No? Why?
Because of AA.
Because of AA?
Yeah, it's I would say that it's been been challenging, but it was so naturally what I needed to do that I haven't had to fight it. It's easier to be sober.
So something that, like, you know it's good for you and it feels good, so it's, like, not hard.
Yeah, and I hit my rock bottom. I mean, we talk about that a lot in AA. I knew that if I didn't quit drinking, I was going to die.
What was your rock bottom?
I was bartending at the time, and I went home with my ex-boyfriend after blacking out while I was working. And that was the point that I realized that I'm not ever going to make any good decisions as long as I'm not sober.
Right. It's, alcohol, drugs, all that stuff is tough on us as people. Like, we're not who we are when we do them. So, and when people celebrate it, right? They celebrate that, I'm not who I am. And I wrecked my car the other week. It was so funny. It's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is you're not who you are, and you can feel that. So you don't want to be that. So when you're not who you are, it's absolutely depressing. Do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I didn't start drinking until I was 17, and I'm 23 now. So I had a pretty short stint of it, only 6 years. And I didn't start super young, like the majority of the people in our community. But I knew that I was supposed to be sober as a little kid. I knew not to touch it, and then I did. And I'm very grateful that I did, because I'm not a judgmental person now, and I understand, so I can help other people in our community. But it's been an easy choice for me, because I think even since a child, I authentically knew that I was going to have a sober life.
Yeah. So starting at 17, you say it's not too young. Well, a lot of people, I'll just paint a picture. We're from a small town. We've been friends for a long time. We're from a small town in Montana, and it's not uncommon for people to start drinking at like 11 or 12 or 13, at least starting to. We're raised around this alcohol, and it seems to be the norm, but when it doesn't feel the norm in your brain and it's making you depressed, like, it's okay to not drink and not go along with everything else. Not only that, the tiny town that we're from has like 7 bars in it. It is so impossible to avoid. There's no way to avoid it. People are drinking everywhere all the time. Like, generations of families are just repeating the same thing. And I don't want to say, to each their own, but I don't want to say that that's sad. But in a way, it's absolutely sad, but when you don't know any other way, why would you want to break free from something that is the unknown? Because people love their comfort, and alcohol can be totally comforting. But I guess for me, it wasn't comforting anymore. So you drank 17 to 23?
Mm-hmm.
And I drink 16 years, basically 17 to 34. Wow. Some people do it for 40, 50, that endless amounts. But yeah, it's.
Yeah. About the community and about it like being so normalized is that when you're a kid, and I teach, so I have quite a bit of knowledge about child development and education in general. But as a child, you're in your own world, right? You don't, as you get older, you can see what's going on around you. But when you're raised in a culture where blacking out is normal, drinking and driving is normal, that's the way we celebrate, that's the way we cope with death, all of those things, you don't see anything outside of that. So you grow up, you see that, you see your friends doing it, you see your family doing it, you see your community doing it, and you don't really have another perception of the world. I luckily had the opportunity to go to high school out of my community, and that's really when I saw that this isn't normal. This isn't the way that other people live, and it was a good time for me to get to that point because I experienced it on a small scale, but I experienced it. So I had a taste of what life could be like, and I did end up drinking the 4 years that I was in college, and then the year and a half, 2 years after college. But I knew that this life was possible.
Being sober. Yeah. When you talk about being around it that whole time and lucky for you, you got to go to a school in a different place that is a lot bigger. It opened your mind, didn't it? It must have. And that helps. And I guess drinking or doing drugs, some people can totally handle it. I'm not going to justify that, but some people can totally handle it. And then there's the people that are in denial. And then there's the people like you or I that can't handle it. I definitely could not handle alcohol. But gosh dang it, for 16 years I thought I could. Maybe in the beginning I had a decent little grasp on it, but that went away immediately because of people. I can be easily influenced with friends, peer pressure. My dad was an alcoholic. My mom was an alcoholic. And it just seemed like, well, I'm going to drink, but I'll never get that bad. I'll never get as bad as mom and dad ever. I'll never miss work, or I'll never get depressed, or I'll never. And that's total bullshit. I knew it. And I can say I was kind of treading around the idea of quitting drinking, I would say, for about 3-4 years, ever since I started my new career. And I found out that they offered help. But it was always a drunken joke. I need to go to rehab. I need to do this. I need to do that. And everything, my whole life just ended up being a barstool conversation of shit I needed to do, wanted to do. But as far as it ever made it was sitting there drinking, getting blacked out drunk, and then getting depressed. And then you start, alcohol. I never was ever depressed in my life. But whenever I felt super sad, it was always when I was blacked out. Always. Obviously, alcohol is a depressant. And with that, that's when I would get depressed, when I was drinking. And I hate that. I hate that feeling of being, I guess, helpless. And I always looked at other people that were sober, and I envied that. Whether they were, I have a confession. I would look down at addicts and recovering alcoholics. I would look down at them and be like, well, they didn't have what it took. And it's only till I got sober that I realized that it's a lot fucking tougher than it looks. But it's anything that's tough is usually worth it. So there, I just ranted a little bit, and we'll go all over the place for a little as far as the alcohol, and then I'm going to tie this in with travel because that's what my show and my YouTube page is about. It's about travel. But sobriety is a huge part of me making a very good, wise choice to stick with my travel goal, which seems silly for some people, but for me, I just don't want to. I don't want to die knowing that I didn't give it my all. And the first thing I had to cut out of that to get to a life's goal is alcohol, drugs, no smoking weed, no drinking, no fucking around. And I feel amazing. I'm so thankful.
Yeah, I'm really grateful every day too. I just wanted to touch on the fact that you were talking about how some people can control it. And there are people that drinking can control it. But if you look at our actually genetic makeup of your parents being alcoholics and my parents being alcoholics and the majority of our community actually having an alcoholic brain, from what I've learned in AA, people that are alcoholics process booze differently than people that are not. And so we have the genetic disposition, and then on top of that, we have the societal upbringing.
The normal.
Yep, the
which
culture.
Is a fucked up normal.
And so that combination is just like the majority of us that come out of Lincoln are going to be alcoholics. Sobriety also gave me the ability to do what I wanted to do. Your passion's traveling, mine's teaching. And a lot of the reason why I got sober was because I knew that I couldn't be a great teacher if I wasn't sober. First of all, I was being a hypocrite because I'm telling these kids, let's make good choices. I teach 6-year-olds, so, it's really the basics, but let's make good choices, be a good person. I'm not doing that when I'm drinking, whether it's on the weekend way far away from them. I'm being a hypocrite. I'm not being my authentic self. And to achieve whatever you are passionate about, whether it's helping people, traveling, creating art, whatever it is, being sober is the best way that you're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, and when you say you got to practice what you preach, it's such a small community, they can be like, well, Miss Denbor, what about you this weekend? We saw you, because we're going to, if you're drinking in a town that's this small, Lincoln, Montana, where the Unabomber's from, you're going to be seen in public if you're drinking. You're going to be seen in public if you're sober. You're a part of the community. It's hard to not be a part of the community. You're in it. You live here, and people are going to see your actions. And then, so for you in a position like you're in, you're teaching children. And some of these children are being, who knows? They come from all walks of life, and parents and wealth and non-wealth and everything. That's kids, that's humans, no matter what. But being in the community and trying to set a good example is tough when you're not doing what you're saying, if you are like partying. And we grew up with alcoholic teachers. I definitely did. I graduated in 2005 from Lincoln High School in Montana, and I was raised in a bar, so I seen teachers in the bar. And as a kid, when you're developing, I'm trying to put myself in the kid's perspective, you don't really respect the fact, and then it's the normal. It's the normal. So you don't really respect the fact that maybe the teacher's trying to tell you to do good when you're like, well, I just saw you doing bad this weekend. You might have backed your car into a telephone pole, or you were doing shots with my parents or something. And you're like, well, what am I supposed to fucking think? You're like, I know maybe it doesn't always stem down to alcohol and stuff. Good people are good people and they drink, and good people are, or there could be bad people that don't drink, and all of so on and so on and so on. But it's just the tight-knit community for that. We don't need to talk about the community totally as a whole, but what it's done for you is, like, I think it's the most amazing part. Do you feel like you're living your life to the fullest now? Like you're more capable of doing what you want, when you want, and you have more control?
Yeah, so I didn't even ever plan on coming back here. I think like a lot of kids that grow up here, they're like, the first opportunity, I am getting out and I'm not looking back. And I kind of had that idea. I was ready to start a life somewhere else. And through a very fortunate sequence of events, I ended back up here. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what can I do for these kids that didn't happen for me? And I was like, so overwhelmed. Like, the majority of my kids come from alcoholic parents. So I'm thinking, what can I do? Well, I can be sober. That's what I can control. And I can model for them what that looks like. And I can show them you can grow up here. And yes, obviously you can leave, but you also can create a life here. And if you just run away and not process what happened to you as a kid, you can't run away from that shit. It's always going to be a part of you.
Yeah, it's not going nowhere. That's for sure. But so when you're sober, you're able to be a part. You're able to do more. You're thinking clearly. You're like, I'm going to, I mean, you're into the community. You help. You're a part of it. Whether it be with AA or coaching or just after everything. You're a part of it. I'm proud of you, man. That's very cool that you're able to give. You have a huge heart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think caregivers tend to come from a lot of hard situations as kids. And it's like a gift that we get for caring for our alcohol parents. My sister's a nurse. I'm a teacher. It kind of seems like a common theme that tends to happen.
Do you ever think that, and I've thought this in the past, that sometimes with shit that we end up, that it might skip a generation? Like, I idolize my grandparents because they've always had their shit together. But my parents, sorry, mom, dad, if you're listening, they just never seem to quite get it all the way together. But no, they're happy or whatever. But I've seen my mom be miserable, and I've seen my dad, he quit drinking for 11 years. I was so proud of him. And I didn't drink when he quit drinking. So I would say it was around 2003. I was so against drinking. And just because I live with my mom. And my mom was a full alcoholic. And whether she likes to admit it or not, it was true. And I didn't respect her for it. And it was a lot of the reasons why we weren't like very close. And I was like, I just want to live with my grandparents. I just want to live with my grandparents. So I moved out at 14. Little history here. And moved in with my grandparents that didn't drink. And I just saw myself, even back then, as a 14-year-old kid, or say the first time I ever had alcohol, I was like 12. They always used to joke and say, oh, we put it in your bottle to chill you out. I was like, oh, neat, thanks. And then, but the first time I had alcohol, I was a sophomore, or I was a freshman in high school, Cascade, Montana, beer bonging out of a used vacuum cleaner hose as a freshman, homecoming night. And getting drunk with all the seniors and stuff is like, oh, this was fun. But I puked that night. And I think I even had beers with my mom. And then the next day, I think she was so pissed off at herself, she got mad at me for it. And I was like, wait, this is who I'm being raised by, and I have a ton of stories. Anyways, where am I going with that? Is that was the first time I had alcohol. And even back then, when I was 14, I was like, I just want to get away from this alcohol and go to a loving, caring home. And that's where my grandparents fell in. So I moved to Lincoln, Montana at 14. And then I was able to move out. I never drank. I was able to move out at 16 and get my own apartment. But then slowly but surely, all the friends that I had, all 17 of the kids that were in my class, were like, what? We never saw you at the party. We never saw you at the party. And eventually you end up going to the party. And a smart man from AA told me, and it made sense now that I'm sober, but he said, you go into a barbershop enough, you're going to come out with a haircut. So you go to the party enough, you're going to eventually, because you're young and impressionable and peer pressure and everything, and you want to be cool, right? So then you fucking have a beer, smoke some weed. Next thing you know, fucking 16 years later, granted you were doing some shit in your life, but you're like, holy fuck, I fucking hate that. It makes me feel bad. That amount of alcohol or weed, that it makes you feel good for that short amount of time, you feel like triple, quadruple, bad after. At least I do. So whether it be a hangover or lack of motivation or missing something important like a birthday or a housewarming party, but I wasn't drunk, but you know what I'm saying. So I ramble, and I will ramble and continue to ramble. So you just got to shut me up sometimes and just barge in.
No, I like it when I like to hear what you have to say. Okay, the generational grandparents, parents,
Skipping the generation.
and the drinking to fit in. Alcoholism is the lack of connection.
Can you pull the mic just a little bit closer? I know when it comes back later. Yeah. Alcohol
Okay.
is what?
Is
Yeah.
that good?
Yeah.
Okay. So alcoholism is lack of connection. So here we're being raised by alcoholics who are not spiritually connected with themselves.
You think?
And I know I was.
Okay.
But often, I mean, when you're drunk, are you having high self-esteem? Are you making good choices? Are you connected to a higher power? Whatever that is. If you're religious,
Or
spiritual,
not.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So like I was raised without any sort of spiritual direction, and then I'm expected to try to find connections, and I could do that through drinking. When I went to college, I didn't know anyone, but I could go to those parties and I could drink, and that's how I could make those connections.
Yeah, now I fit in. I had beers. We all feel wasted. Oh, this is so funny.
Yeah.
And fun. Now I have a friend that wants to drink.
And so I think that's kind of something that happens here, is that it's a way to feel connected.
Connected.
It's a
You're
way
right.
to feel fit in. Yeah, to fit in.
Yeah. I never thought of that.
And AA allows you to have the community of those connections with other sober people, and you learn those relationships with other sober people that you weren't probably modeled. I know, like, alcohol obviously leads to people making poor decisions. My dad is abusive. My mom is neglectful. Those things aren't who those people are, but their alcoholism brought those things about. And I was raised in that environment, and that I don't know how to connect to people, but if I drink, I can connect to people.
Yeah, you're correct. I think I have a problem with that as well. You know, I would like to say maybe I wasn't taught. You kind of got to be taught to like have a good, fulfilling relationship or friendships and stuff. And when you start basing all that bullshit off alcohol, it's already fucked from the start. You know, alcoholics are super selfish. All of us when we are, and we still kind of are, because we're like, oh, my sobriety, I'm number one. But like, what AA, we don't want to talk about AA as a bunch because it's anonymity and all that. But yes, we go to meetings, and they're probably the most helpful thing I've ever had throughout my sobriety. Those meetings, which is crazy, and I have a counselor and stuff because of my job, not because I fucking love it. They actually want to release me from it, and I'm like, no, keep me, motherfuckers. I was like, I work for a railroad, and they're paying for it. And I was like, let them pay for it. They're like, well, we think you're ready. I was like, I'm not ready. I like talking to my counselor, talking to you, talking to people that will listen and care and have their own stuff going on, and then you can relate and all that. So that's what you get from AA. And if you didn't talk about it, I would have never ended up at one if I didn't go searching on how to go get sober. I should probably tell that story in a second, but
Yeah, one thing I want to touch on that's funny about, I think this is just all humans do this, but something starts working and you're like, oh, I feel better, I'm going to quit doing it. Like, oh, I'm doing therapy. Well, yeah, there's a reason why you feel better. It's because you're doing therapy. You have to keep doing the therapy. I feel better because I'm working out. I can't stop working out. I got to keep working out. You have to continue to do those things. If traveling makes you feel good, you don't just do a trip and then never do it again.
yes, things take time, and some shit in the beginning you're going to suck at, and that's totally great, but you don't get like to be in very good shape. The beer belly doesn't show up over fucking night. You could be in very good shape as a teen, and then by the time you get older, you drank so much, now you have this beer gut. It didn't happen overnight. Same with like losing that weight or investing back into yourself for long term, all sorts of stuff. Like I think one time you and I talked, and it was about like how men don't open up and talk, but before you can even do that, you have to realize that you have a fucking problem that you want to fix, and so then you have to talk about it. Otherwise, you can't fix it. Like the fucking sobriety, like AA, everything that's shown me through sobriety is, if you want it, you're not. This is why I couldn't quit before. Wake up, oh man, I feel like shit. I'm never drinking again. Bullshit. You will drink again. You're not in recovery. You're just a fucking guy that doesn't want to drink. But if you don't work on it, you will get nowhere. You will get nowhere if you don't go to meetings and stuff. I mean, some people can quit, but they're not recovering. They're just dry alcoholic. They still have issues in their brain that alcohol has caused. That something drove them to drink, and it wasn't just fun. It can start out as fun, but it just doesn't seem like it ends in fun. Does it? For anybody? For anybody. Even if they had fun the whole time and they were in denial the whole time they drank. It doesn't seem like, oh, I drink a beer on my deathbed, you know? It's like, fucking, it doesn't seem like it. Why is it so fake? Why is it such bullshit?
I don't know. I wish I had the answer to that question. I think it does seem fun because maybe in the beginning when you're drinking, or that first drink or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might fantasize that, but then think the drink all the way through. Like, you still have to get home. So you're going to be driving drunk. You could get a DUI. You could wreck. You could hurt yourself. You could hurt someone else. What are you going to say? What decisions are you going to make? I don't know a single person in my life that has had a good experience every time they've drank and gotten drunk. I can't think of a single person. And I know with me as an alcoholic, it's not going to end pretty. No matter what it is, it's not going to end pretty, ever.
No.
So it's not fun.
We become different people. Like, we used to hang out, and I'd be drunk. I'd see you in the bar, and after a while, I know for a fact that I become a fucking prick. I become a prick. And if I was ever an asshole to you, I'm sorry. But I like when I'm done drinking, I'm like, I'm not an asshole. Like, I'll be straight and clear, but it's not like to take a jab at somebody, whereas maybe I'd be sitting on the bar and be like, you're a fucking loser, you know, to somebody's face, and be like, wow, I'm really sorry I said that yesterday. It wasn't me. It was the booze. That fucking excuse of the booze. So I was talking to my brother, and he was, you know, sounding a little, maybe questioning quitting drinking. And I went off on a fucking rant like I always do. And what I told him, I was like, here's what alcohol taught me so far in my fucking sobriety. Alcohol is a fucking excuse. And excuses kill your goddamn dreams. They kill your dreams. And so if you have alcohol, ends up being an excuse to not do this podcast, to not fucking go see my grandparents, to not travel, and I used to drink traveling, but to not do this, to not save more money. I'll go to the bar, not go to the gym, all these things. So when alcohol is the excuse, it's just one excuse. There's so many other excuses in your life of why we don't do shit. But excuses kill your fucking dreams. And then when you don't live your dreams and you're not feeling fucking happy and you look back, all you're left with is all your fucking excuses for not doing what you wanted to do. And all these things fall into that category of excuses. Fucking, I don't want to have excuses. I don't want to fucking live like that, you know, anymore. It feels good to have some control, I guess. And over, you know, I'm off work. I don't want to eat any sugar. I'm like, oh, there's fucking donuts there. Sons of bitches look good. But that's just an excuse. Well, you know, maybe that's not an excuse, but I want that. It feels so much better to walk out of the store and be like, I didn't buy the fucking donut, you know, or I didn't have the beer. That self-control when you lay down at night, you're like, wow, I proved something major to myself, and it was so small. All those little baby steps. I don't want that. I'm not going to have it. But if you don't remind yourself, you could easily give in with, you know, a person like myself. I'll fucking cave and be like, oh, I have a couple more stories, but I want to hear.
Okay, so I have an idea for the title of this one. It could be Traveling Through Sobriety.
Traveling Through Sobriety. That is it. There, it's done.
Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about our story. And then if you want to do your perspective, go for it. I was going to let you tell it, but I want to tell it from my point of view.
Okay, go ahead.
So we grew up in the same place. You're 10 years older than me. I know that you partied with my parents, which is funny, right? The first
Oh, yeah, we have a whole life story here.
The people that you start drinking with is my dad. My dad's one of them. And anyways, I had been toying around with the idea of sobriety. I always kind of knew that years before I ever joined AA or got sober. And COVID hits. I moved back here to Lincoln. We're both living in Lincoln. We start spending time together, drinking together.
Yeah.
Not great. I think we've always had a connection, but of course, like alcohol got in the way. And shortly after that, I have a mental breakdown, alcohol-induced fit, basically, relating to my abusive ex. And you're like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of town. Let's go get away. And we drive to the hot springs, 4-hour drive.
I was still drinking at the time.
You were drinking and I was not. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I guess I got that a little bit confused. I wasn't drinking at the time, but I was not practicing recovery or sobriety by any means. I just wasn't putting alcohol
You were doing
in
your
my
thing.
system.
Like you knew it. Like your body subconsciously, you knew what you wanted later, but you weren't like totally taking it serious. I've done that.
Right. So we have this experience together where you're drinking, I'm not. Then I fall off of my sobriety. We're drinking at the same time. And to this day, I still think this is the most important thing that anybody has ever said to me. I'm drunk crying in the bar. You're drunk in the bar. You look at me straight in the face and you say, you're not a victim.
Yeah.
And that was the most important thing because instantly I was pissed. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what I'm going through. But it was like, I had this realization. I'm like, I'm living in this world where I think I can't control what's going on around me. And that's absolutely could not be more opposite of the truth. Yes, there's things that happen to us. Yes, we can't control our childhood when we're little. But as adults, we have control over a lot of choices that we make and situations that we put ourselves in and who we're around and what we do, what we put in our bodies.
Yeah.
And so shortly after that, you get sober and I'm still drinking and you start hitting these AA meetings. We hang out. We start going to AA together and you went back to work or you went on your trip and I had to go to a meeting by myself and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go because Devan's not here. But I did. And now we're at this place where we're exactly 6 months apart in our sobriety.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Like mine's February 4th, yours is August 4th, which is that's not a coincidence. Like there's something there that tells you that we're making the right choices.
Dude, I'm going to touch back on that trip we took, but there are moments I've left AA in the beginning and fucking cried fucking really good fucking tears. It was just like feeling these emotions again. And knowing at that time when I was crying, I'm not fucking afraid or scared to admit that. I knew that I was saving my life. I knew that I was avoiding costly interruptions and speed bumps to my life. If I lose my passport, then what? What am I going to do? Just drink myself to death? Because what else am I going to feel like? But I want to go back. When we went on that trip and I was drinking and you were struggling, but you had it like together, but you were struggling. You were processing this struggling. I'm sitting in the driver's seat. I'm like, I'm going to get some fucking wine. We're going to a hot springs. We're going to have a good time. I just got back from Ecuador and we're friends, like we were able to talk together pretty fucking well, which helps a ton. And you weren't drinking. And I was drinking. And all the whole time on that trip, I was like, because I have quit in the past to work out. I'd say I'd probably only make it about 48 days, no more than 60. 2 different times in my life. Maybe one time. The other time I was just working out and still having beers here and there. But while you weren't drinking and I was drinking, I was just in denial. Like, I wasn't in denial, but I seen what you had, the self-control and processing a heartache or trauma that's been going on in your life. And seeing that, I was like envious. And I wanted that. And I was like, fuck, I really want that. Like, and then I'm trying to picture myself in doing it. And so I didn't do it. But anyways, that's how I felt when we were hanging out that day. And it was a lasting impact all the way up till now. And when we were in the bar that night, and when I told you, you're not a victim. Like, really, when I'm saying that shit like that to you, it's just how I feel about myself. So as I'm sitting there feeling depression, I'm like, and I see you hurting, and I'm like, I want to take that pain away from you. And it sucks because we allow people to fucking walk on us when we're drinking because we feel like we deserve that, because that's how we feel, because we feel like shit. So then when we're getting treated like shit, we're like, why? Well, why? Because we fucking put ourselves in this situation. And so, like, I'm depressed. I don't have anybody doing it to me except for myself. I'm like, you're not a victim. And that stems from when we took that trip to the hot springs and we started talking about David Goggins and how, like, stay hard, motherfucker, and, like, motivation. Well, motivation, he says, is absolute bullshit. Action is, like, where it comes down to fucking getting rid of those excuses and, saying, you're not a victim, being there for a friend, when really it's like, holy shit, I need to look in a fucking mirror and be like, I'm not a victim either, but I am feeling like a victim. Nobody's treating me bad by any means, but I'm treating myself bad. So I'm being a victim because of my own actions. What a fucking crazy thing sobriety is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. And I'm 4 months in, and I still feel like I know it's going to take a while for me to.
We have to work at it.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's interesting. It's just funny how I think we, played a role in each other's sobriety, because I had 3 months the summer before just because of a job that I had, no other reason. And instead of drinking, I was just obsessed with the relationship that I was in. So I wasn't figuring out why I was drinking. I was just using another person instead of alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot with addicts. Okay, I'm going to quit doing heroin, but I'm going to pick up drinking. Or I'm going to quit smoking cigarettes, but I'm going to use sugar. And it really takes that process of figuring out why you're using that other thing to really truly be sober and not shift into a romantic relationship to fulfill your needs, or smoking weed or smoking cigarettes or whatever you want to use. You could even use your job. You could use your kids. You can be addicted. You could use sex. You can use whatever you want to replace that addiction. It takes until realizing, what that addiction is, admitting that you have a problem, working through those things.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, the goddamn addictions. But overcoming it feels way better. But you never overcome it. You're constantly fucking working at it. It's the thing that you have to keep in the back of your brain. That's why they say they want to release me from my fucking counseling. I'm like, no. Let's go a year at least. I mean, here's a quick story. I'm up working this year, and I have a friend that works with me at where I work, and I go, there's nowhere to eat in this town that I'm at, so the bar is the option for food. I go in there fucking strong as fuck, right? I'm like, I'm just going to get some food, get the fuck out of this bar. And I did that multiple nights on end. But this one night, I got a friend in there gambling, right? I never gambled till 2019 when I had my broken ankle. And this friend took me to gamble. By no means is any of my problems his fucking fault. But this is, I'll explain. My brain functions like this. I go in there. He says, this goes back to like the peer pressure. There was no peer pressure, but it's how my brain works. It's like, I put $800 into this Keno machine. I'm like, holy fuck, that is a waste of money. So I'm starting out strong. I'm like, that's a fucking waste of money. He's like, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. And I'm like, well, fuck. If he put 800, it could hit. Now my brain's going this direction. And I'm like, it could hit. It could hit fucking 800. And if I put in 100 or 200, I'll be out, That. So anyways, I go get this $200 out of my fucking truck. I put it in this Keno machine. So now I'm like already tunnel vision into this gambling. And I hate gambling. I fucking hate it. So I get the 200. I lose the 200. Let's say 15, 20 minutes. Now I'm going to the ATM. I go to the ATM. I get another 100. I lose that. I go back to the ATM. And now it's been an hour, 2 hours. And all the while he's like, it's going to hit. So I have this person, a legit person in the back being like, it's going to hit, you know, kind of wanting in a way they lost it. So I should lose it too. Or if we win, maybe we can have that excitement. It's all fucking a part of the thing. And now I ended up losing like 530, 540 some odd dollars when I went in there for a $15 meal with water. That's it. Period. Done. I was going to get the fuck out. Now I'm sitting there. Now I'm in the bar for way longer than I ever wanted to be. And alcohol isn't the issue at this point in this story at all. But I'm sitting there and the guy's just like, man, you seem pretty fucking upset about that. I'm like, yeah, $500 fucking dollars, you know, almost $550 of money that didn't need to spend because I wanted to be. I respect money. I'm like, why did I stop respecting money the moment I'm hanging out with you and the moment that I fucking think that I'm going to win? That false fucking sense of bullshit that gambling gives you, because it's a fucking full-on addiction too. And I never gambled till this person took me, not his fault, took me when I had my broken ankle to a casino because, oh, if you put $20 in, you get free beers. And if you get free beers, at least you got a chance of winning your money back. So then you sit there, you get fucking drunk and you gamble. But the more drunk you get, the more money you put in, the more you fucking either lose or win. And when you win, it doesn't help you. It fucking makes you want to gamble more. So when I told him, I was like, at the table, after losing the $500, I was like, I don't fucking like this feeling. Well, it's not that big of a deal. I was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal for you. You get to fucking drink it away, dude. I was like, I don't get to fucking drink it away. I don't have that excuse anymore. Oh, I got too drunk. I lost the $500. It's a fucking excuse. I fucking hate excuses. And they pissed me off. And then, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is a fucking big deal. This is a big deal. This is how fast I could have ended up having a fucking beer. This is why I don't come into these fucking atmospheres. You go into the barbershop enough, you're going to come out with a haircut. You go into the bar enough, even you're limited, like to where I could eat in that town at that time. And it's like, fuck, I either got to stop fucking hanging out with this person who I fucking love dearly and live my life for how I want to live, or feel this fucking shitty feeling of how easy it is for me to just give in and be like, oh, I'm going to gamble. Or, oh, then what's next? I'm going to have a fucking beer, just one beer. I don't know how to have one beer. And I don't know how to stop at $2, let alone fucking $500 gambling till you feel absolute shitty. So when I told him, I was like, I want good feelings. For the rest of my life, if I can have control of it, I want good feelings. I want to chase good feelings, good memories, good feelings, good times. You know, I want that, not false ones. Alcohol, gambling, drugs have given me nothing but false feelings. And in order to overcome that, I got to work at it. Always. I got to admit it, because the next moment you start lying to yourself, you don't tell anybody you lost that $500. You don't tell anybody that you're fucking pissed off at yourself because you lost that $500. And no, that's when you start lying to yourself. And when you start fucking lying to yourself, then what? Then you're in denial. And when you're in denial, it's like, fucking might as well have a goddamn beer. If you can't be honest with yourself, how am I going to be honest with anybody at all? How can... That was a big rant, but that's how I feel about that fucking shit. And that's why you and I are talking right now and podcasting, and it all stems down to that. I want to chase good feelings. I want to have good memories with good people and be surrounded by like-minded people.
I think, and I'm speaking for myself, so I have an addictive personality.
Me too.
I would say that, yeah, I didn't want to say that for you, but I think that you do too, and I think there are a lot of people in the world that have an addictive personality. So that's not a bad thing. How are you going to channel that?
Into good addictions.
Yeah.
Working out.
Right?
Traveling.
Mm-hmm. You're going to pick those things. You want those rushes, and yeah, we don't want to be reliant on them, but I'm going to be addicted to going to AA meetings. I'm going to be addicted to eating healthy. I'm going to be addicted to spending time with my students. I'm going to be addicted to coaching because that's my personality and I have to go full into things. So let's pick the things we want to get full into. It's not drugs and booze and sex and relationships and weed and things that make us feel awful. Be addicted to those things that make you feel good.
Yeah. Be surrounded by people that make you feel good. Those good feelings. Isn't that fucked up? All through sobriety, it's like, oh, yeah, I noticed something, which is something I would have just fucking shrugged off. Yeah, I didn't like that feeling. Have a beer. Fucking, okay, now I have that. I didn't like that feeling. I don't like being hungover. Well, start the fucking process over and see where the fuck that gets you. Like, I heard a thing one time, like, what's progress? You can get to the edge of the fucking cliff, right? And you can either step off of the motherfucker or you're going in a direction, or you can turn around, do a 180, turn your life around, and step back. What is actual progress? Stepping off the cliff or turning around and going back and trying something new and learning from your fucking mistakes and admitting your faults and your wrongs and your fucking shit that you don't like about you? You can change, dude. I can't believe that you can just change how you live, where you live, what you want to do, who you're around. You can be like, I'm not a fucking victim, so I'm not going to live like a fucking victim. Look at all this shit we're learning.
Yeah, I don't know, it's overwhelming to think about, but
it feels good.
It feels good, and the more you do it, the more it feels more natural, I think. The more you make those good choices and you're doing those things. I really wanted to touch base traveling. I've been several places across the U.S. I went to Boston when I was in high school. I lived in Orlando, Florida for 6 months. I've been to Seattle, L.A., Phoenix, Salt Lake. So lots of places across Minneapolis. I've been a lot of places in the U.S., Canada twice, and nothing outside of that. And luckily for you, I'm going to push my comfortable boundaries, and hopefully we're going to make this trip to Iceland.
Let's do it.
Yeah, not hopefully. It's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
We're speaking it into existence right now. But one, I feel comfortable doing that because I would never do that on my own, because that's not a safe decision to make, because I don't know anything about it. And I am this young American girl that is pretty.
Super pretty. No. She's beautiful if you haven't seen her.
But I am naive. And I don't understand how the world works. I grew up in these little mountains, and I would only feel comfortable going with someone like you who knows how the world works, because that's putting me in a safe position.
So what's crazy is you feel like that, but I know just by knowing you, you would be absolutely fine in the world. I see women, girls, 18, 20, all ages, traveling by themselves. And I'm like, wow, everybody says they can't. Well, we got to start doing what we can't. And when we're like a little nervous about maybe going to Iceland, maybe for yourself, maybe this is like perfect to be like, that fucking trip changed my life. We don't even know. It's going to answer questions that we're not even asking. Like if we go on that trip together.
When?
August. And yeah, we're going to get that figured out. And hopefully we can take like these mics. I'll take these mics, maybe not the booms, and we can talk about our experiences and what we've seen while traveling. And in reality, I'm on the trip right now because I'm saving for it. I'm working for it. I am motivated for it, where it comes down to so much stuff. It's not just, oh, it's a vacation. We booked it. We went there. We got fucking wasted, man. Now I can't remember my trip. I have these pictures, but I can't remember the experiences of meeting these people. Traveling has changed my life. It absolutely has opened my mind. And when you talk to people that are here, not everybody's going to be into traveling. Not everybody's going to be into working or fishing or fucking anything that you're doing. But that is what I'm into, and it's changed. It makes me a better person. Kind of like you, when you're teaching kids, makes you a better person, because you're like, and we can't control everything. Shit happens. But that's what traveling has taught me, is patience. You might miss the fucking plane. You might miss the train. You might miss the taxi driver. But then What are you going to do? Stomp your feet in the ground and fucking cry and give up? No. Same thing with sobriety. You might not make it to the meeting. You going to give up? No. Another thing about traveling is you can't get to fucking probably like the steps in AA. You can't get to one step. You can't get to step 4 until you do step 1, 2, 3. You can't get on the fucking plane until you buy the ticket and go through security. So you can't even do that until you pack your bag. You can't go and land down and go through into the country until you go through customs. So all these little steps, like, you take a breath, you're like, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. But then if you know what the steps are and you look in the distance in the future for your life or for your trip or for your fucking career, you can't get there until you just take care of the first things to prepare you for that. So that's like where we're at right now with that trip. Sitting here talking about it. Me last week being like, and we, you know what? We had talked about fucking Iceland before. We have. Did we do it? How good did that feel talking about it and not doing it? Well, you can shrug it off because you don't know what you missed. But when you come back from a trip like Iceland, like if we go and rent a car or whatever, when you come back, you're going to be like, I have a clean slate. I'm ready to teach these fucking kids and I'm ready to do better in my life because that trip, it's going to show you shit that you just have no idea. Sorry. I went off.
No, that's okay.
I keep going off.
I think there's this huge correlation between education and traveling because that's part of this uneducated population here in Lincoln. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental sort of way.
We're sheltered. We're sheltered here.
Exactly, right? There's so many phenomenal people here, but a lot of the people are the same. And that there's nothing wrong with it, but we don't have diversity here. So we don't have the race, we don't have the religion, we don't have the sexuality.
Easy to get closed-minded.
Yeah, and traveling allows us to have opportunities that we don't have the privilege living in Lincoln, Montana. And so, for example, Business Professionals of America is an organization that we're using at the school that a phenomenal teacher got started here. And our middle schoolers,
they went this year, correct?
They got into nationals and they got to go to Dallas, Texas. And it was all really overwhelming. And people are like, what is BPA? I'm like, it doesn't matter what BPA is. These kids need to go to Dallas, Texas.
Dude, they did.
Yeah, they did. There was, I think, 8 of them that went. And I don't care if they're going to go into the business field or if they won an award or whatever.
It was the trip.
It was the trip. It was getting on an airplane. It was
first time ever in their life, probably most of them.
Yeah, being away from their mom and dad, meeting other people from around the world,
solving small problems every day in their life just because they're not home and it's different.
Yes, exactly. And being in Dallas, Texas, like that's a polar opposite of Lincoln.
Now they can tell the story of the first time they ever left the state of Montana, got on an airplane, and learned because they went on a fucking trip. Yeah, it was for school. My senior trip changed my life. It opened up my eyes to be like, oh, I don't have to sit at home. It doesn't have to always be the same. There's got to be something we can connect it to. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're okay. It's just an example of how education and traveling are it's so important to connect those things because we learn so much from traveling, whether it's to do a trip to go to Iceland and to see cool things, or if it's for a job, or it doesn't matter what it is. It's all tied together.
Yeah. And it is. Have any of those kids that went on that trip, have any of them just been like super happy about because they went on the trip? And can you see a change in any of those kids at school, you personally being a faculty member?
Yeah, and I haven't had any personal conversations with the middle schoolers that went, talked to them and seen, but I think it was so cool. They were so proud of themselves that they were able to do that. And that the community came together and raised money. It was like $25,000 to get all of them down there. And the gal that supervises it was like, what am I going to do? Because this is her first year running it. And so usually they plan all year. Let's raise money all year. Well, all of a sudden it was these kids made it to nationals and we got to get this money. And the community pulled together. There was one guy that sponsored an entire kid. And he used to be in BPA when he was in high school. Now he's this old, retired, wealthy guy. And he's like, I'll pay for a whole kid's trip to go. And the community completely pulled together. It took a matter of a couple weeks to get all that money together to get those kids down there, which is insane because we don't see there's a lot of separateness here.
Yes.
And there's a lot of love and there's a lot of things that are
it's
together.
a great community. It's just a community.
But there's a lot of people that are separated from it. And it was such a good opportunity for all of them to be together. And I think those kids were so proud of themselves. Like we got the fire truck, they got to ride on the fire truck and ride through town and everyone honked their horns.
I've seen that.
All the kids come out. And so I know everything about the experience was extremely positive for them. And they're like ready to go back next year. So the cool thing is these kids are 7th and 8th grade. They went to Dallas this year.
Now they're going to work harder to go again.
Yeah. I got to go to Boston because of it.
Yeah.
When I was in high school.
You did?
Yeah,
Sweet.
I did. And now it's all over the, sorry.
You can pull that thing closer too.
It's all over the U.S. So now these kids could have 5 more opportunities through high school to travel across the U.S. just through being competitive, challenging themselves, learning about business. And yes, that's great. But they're having this opportunity to go somewhere, which is so cool.
Well, now they're going to work harder because they're going to want to at least go on that trip, that experience. It's a trip. Why does it come down to the damn opening your mind? Because when they go there, they see how other kids do it, and they haven't got to see that. Now they get to see it with school. They're like, oh, well, did you see what? I don't know what goes on at those things at all, but I can imagine that schools are doing things that are different, and these kids are collectively, maybe a little shy. We're from here. We're not a big school. And these kids look at how these other kids are acting because they've been in a big school and look what they did. It was slightly different. Everybody that goes there, from the teacher to everybody involved, learns something that's like positive.
Well, you hit it completely right, because what they do is this pin ceremony. So all of our kids got little Montana pins, and your goal is that you go and interact with kids from other states and switch pins. So it forces them to socialize and communicate with kids across the country because they have their little Montana pin, and it's like who can get the most pins from all 50 states. And they have like an entire session where that's what they're doing, where they have to get out of their bubble. And there's one little boy, a 7th grader. I am so enamored with him.
From here?
Here.
Okay.
That I have to try to be normal around him because I think he's such a special kid. And I heard from the supervisor that he was going around and talking to everyone and changing pins, and the other kids were like, how are you doing that? And he's like, let me show you. And was just taking them along.
Are you proud of him?
Oh, so proud of him. I can't wait to see what that child does. He's special.
That's cool.
For sure.
How great is that? You're like, oh, and he's like able to help other kids be like, yeah, I'll show you. This is how we do it. Hi, those are some real social skills. And he has them like young, and being from here. Everybody's different, man. We're all just full of different chemicals and things. And
yeah.
Look at what he did.
Yeah.
In 7th grade. So he's got some years to go again and be a leader. That's neat.
It is. It's really cool. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to touch on with traveling is that I'm going to get weird, but I thought that I couldn't ever live in Lincoln, and I was going to have to get away to have a life without alcohol and without drama and without toxic relationships.
I thought that too with myself.
And I'm here.
Yeah.
And I am creating an entire reality that should not seem possible for me to exist. Like, I have this beautiful home, I have this career, I'm meeting all these cool people, and I have my sobriety. And that is, to me, traveling out of the generational shit of my parents and their grandparents and all this, just coming with all these kids too, of you get to create your reality wherever you're at. And I am not coining this term myself, but timeline hopping is like time travel. Like we get to pick, I'm on this timeline where I'm drinking and I'm in this abusive relationship and I get pregnant and I have to live with this guy and then my baby gets traumatized and I hopped off that timeline. I traveled to a different place.
Yeah, you did.
I went to this place where I am not doing that. And I'm staying in Lincoln. I'm doing all of this in Lincoln right now. And that's possible for all these kids. That's what I'm ready to set an example for them. You can live here and have a good life, or you can go live somewhere else and have a good life too and not take that bullshit with you.
Yeah. And when you do go somewhere else, I guess the faster you can learn that you're in control of your reality, no matter where you are, even if fucking shit happens, somebody passes away or something, you're still in control. Somebody's a fucking dick to you. You're like, well, I can take that, or I can just be like, well, they're probably suffering pretty hard. You know, you can take everything and turn it into a positive. You literally can. And
you don't have to, but it's a lot.
It's up to you.
It's a lot easier when you're sober.
You're no victim. You're no victim. You know, it's that mentality. You want to act like a victim and be like, oh, I have these excuses, and fuck being a victim. Sometimes we are victims. Shit happens and we didn't want it, you know?
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, that motherfucker actually came out of nowhere to project some bullshit on me. And then we start learning about forgiveness and we're like, oh, no. Like I was at work, started up work, and I don't know, maybe 2 weeks in, somebody in the safety briefing in the morning was just like, oh, and Devin, you know, they're like, we need somebody to run the machine or go back there. And they're like, Devin. And then somebody else that I used to drink with last year was just like, yeah, he's a fucking pussy because he quit drinking. It didn't even bother me. But I was just like, and then another guy asked me at work that day, they're like, well, you didn't seem very fazed by that. I was like, fuck no, man. I was like, he lives in his own personal hell enough to say something about that, you know, about me in front of all those people. Trust me, he's probably dealing with his own shit. And I was like, I got my own shit to deal with. Like, I don't care if he says that. Now, if he's going to be a fucking dick all the fucking time, yeah, I'm going to care. But one time, little outburst, fucking have at it, dude. You know? Misery loves company. You're not going to drag me down to that bullshit. There's no fucking way.
No, absolutely not. And you're creating that reality for yourself. There was a opportunity for you to react poorly to that and say, then yeah, what? I don't drink. Why do you have a problem with it? Or sobriety and push your sobriety. You could have made that choice, but
fuck that.
You made your own reality of I'm not letting that faze me and I'm going to keep moving on with my day.
Life's good. Life's fucking good.
Exactly.
Why would you let that little fucking shit that somebody would say affect you? Then what? You're laying there, you're like, oh, fuck, that guy fucking, you know, then what? You might as well just fucking start drinking again if you're going to start feeling so bad about something that somebody fucking said. You know, it's different, I guess, if it's family and stuff, but at the same time, it's the same way. They're probably living in their own hell. Let them live in it, and they're projecting onto you how they feel about them fucking selves. And that's fucking crazy.
And I think a lot of the time, too, you're mirroring out. You're seeing things in other people that you don't like about yourself. So when someone gets like defensive towards me about my sobriety and them drinking, and that happened to me a lot when I was still bartending. Thank God I'm not. But I was sober bartending for about 3 months and people would try to buy me a drink.
After you got sober?
Yes.
Okay.
And people would try to buy me a drink. Oh, why aren't you drinking with me? We used to drink. And I would get so pissed off.
It's a tough thing to handle, but you were in that situation, you know, for money, working.
And I was just mad. And then I got to a point and I'm like, I'm mad
because I'm here.
Because of how I feel, not because of how they feel. They're mirroring, they're showing me this. Because there was still pieces of me that were in denial about me having a problem, thinking maybe one day I can be a normal drinker. All of that bullshit.
All while working in a bar, surrounded by the people that want to drag you down because it's quote unquote fun. What we're doing on the other side of the bar is fun. Why don't you drink with us, Cailey? Why did you quit? Oh, you're a quitter? You know, fucking all that negativity. But you were in there working. So you chose to be there. And then you get to hear it. Now it's affecting your life. And you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, vacate that area because it's a negativity fucking cesspool of shit.
Yeah, and then it got to a point where I was comfortable in my sobriety that people would say that shit to me and I didn't even care. It just completely bounced off me because it wasn't a problem for myself anymore and I didn't care. And the thing is I I held on to that job bartending because of money. I was like, oh, I'm going from making like a third of the amount of money in a day that I was making out of my paycheck for the month working at the school. And I'm like, how am I going to make my truck payment? How am I going to do that? And I'm like, no, fuck that. This is not a supportive environment for me.
Yeah.
Why would I be giving people alcohol when I know that it's ruining their life? I'm stepping away from it and it's going to figure itself out. And guess what? I am just perfectly fine. My grandparents bought this beautiful home for me that they're charging me a ridiculous small amount of rent. I have a savings account and I've already been offered multiple odd jobs this summer that I would absolutely adore to do, and helping people and being of service to other people in my community versus sitting at the bar and helping other people get drunk.
You might not have taken those other opportunities for these other jobs because you already had a job and you were busy. However, was it worth it to hear all the nonsense that drunks have to say? Like, was it worth the money? You know, your happiness?
No.
Was it worth whatever? You know, but some people are, oh, gotta have it. You know, yeah. Fucking congratulations on quitting something that you didn't fucking like doing, did you?
No, I didn't. The thing that was making me hold on was, one, the money aspect, and two, I developed a lot of relationships with people that came in there every day that I love them.
Yeah.
And I think they're good people. I am not shit talking them.
No.
100%. I love them. I adore them. They're great people. But AA has replaced other sober people in my life, and they are way better friends, if I'm going to be honest. And one of the things is because they're reliable.
Yeah.
Like, all of those people, of course they would do anything for me, but are they going to be able to when they're wasted?
No. The best person can't fulfill promises and shit when they're fucking wasted.
So now I have this community of people that my car breaks down. I can call them and know that they're going to come get me and help me. And I'm not going to have to worry about if they're going to get a DUI on the way. Last week, I had to make a trip to the hospital with my kidney problems, and both of my parents were drinking. And I had someone that I could call and be like, hey, I got to get to the hospital. I can't drive. And guess what?
Yeah.
They weren't drinking.
Yeah.
There was no, we're going to get pulled over by a cop on the way there.
Yeah, you could speed a little bit.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, yeah,
insane.
now the driver's not in the back of the cop car. I'm with an issue. Now ambulance is showing up. You avoided all of that just by calling somebody that doesn't drink.
And again, it would be hypocritical of me to pass any judgment towards them, and I don't, because I was that person, and I still am an alcoholic.
It's not total judgment. It's just a realization of how you avoid all those problems just by cutting that shit out. It's not judgment. I mean,
and I spent years around those people, and I love them.
They're still here.
And they, you know, when I graduated, they came to my graduation party, and they were happy for me for getting teaching. The people that I've met in the last 90 days have been so supportive of me and like truly my friends. Like, they literally do care about me, and they care about what I'm doing, and they're proud of me, and they talk to me about teaching, and they want me to be successful. And I have all these people that I can call, whereas I felt so alone. And what I would do is I'd go down and sit on a bar stool and drink and try to make myself feel connected. That does not work. I thought it did, but it doesn't.
In a way, you're like, oh, I'm totally connected, but you're connected with like fucking misery. So I think you are successful. You're going to be successful. You are. You already are. Look at how far you've come from just like looking. It's neat to be able to look back. If you didn't have like the trauma of drinking and shit, then you wouldn't be as strong as you are right now. Like, it's fucking unreal.
So I have 2 teachers that work at the school, and they grew up with alcoholic parents, and they have never drank.
Yeah.
And they are so good for our community, but they don't have that understanding. They don't get what it's like to be an alcoholic, and
to
so
have the struggle and not overcome it, but work at overcoming it.
Exactly. And so now I have this perspective of, there's these high schoolers that might be going out to party. Well, they're probably going to want to come to me before they come to one of those adults, because they know that I get it.
Some of the most people I've ever been judged by, not just alcoholics that are drinking, but have been a person that's never drank a drop in their life. I've felt more judged by those people than anybody. And, I mean, my grandparents can fall underneath that equation, so, you know, in the beginning. And sometimes, I quit drinking, and I tell them, and they'd be like, oh, is this just fucking bullshit? Or why don't you just quit? It's not that fucking easy. It's not that easy to just quit. So therefore, when they say that, they don't have any fucking experience in quitting something that strong. What they do have experience in is watching it tear apart families. They see the outside perspective, but they've never been in the snake pit, They've never been in that situation, except for from an outsider's perspective. Oh, it ruined my dad's life. It ruined my brother's life. It ruined this. Yeah, but you've never been in recovery. So it's easier for them to pass like straight up judgment. So they're harder to talk to. They are harder to talk to. The only thing I can tell them most of the time is like, I'm doing better and I have to talk about it. So you're going to have to fucking listen. And they see that, but they've never lived the shitty part of that life but it has affected them.
Yeah, it's just like if I were to say, this is how a veteran should deal with PTSD, or this is how a Hispanic person should deal with racism. Like, I don't know. You can't tell
which
someone
teaches you that right there.
to have how to deal with that experience, because you don't know what it's like to be an alcoholic.
First off, if somebody were to tell you, Cailey, get sober. If somebody were to tell Devin, me, get sober, Devin, you're fucking up or you're about to fuck up, I would have probably went straight to the bar and drank twice as much just to fucking prove them wrong, because that's how stubborn of a fucking person I am, for one. And then as an alcoholic, it's even worse. And then you add in all the denial and everything else. I would have said, fuck you. You can't get sober. Rob Lowe says it. You can't get sober for your job, your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, your kids, anything. You gotta want it. You gotta get sober for yourself. And then guess what? You're like, holy shit, I got sober. Now you find all this support from perfect strangers. You find support from perfect strangers, and they can be your fucking best friend because they've been in your shoes. Some worse, some not as bad. But there's support there.
Yeah, like you said, you have to get sober for yourself. You were sober for those stints of times because you were on this health kick for working out.
It wasn't recovery.
I was sober for 3 months because of a job. I was sober for 4 months because of a relationship. It took until I was sober for myself to actually, I know I'm never going to take another drink for the rest of my life.
Like, you feel it?
And yes. And during those other times, it was like, when am I going to drink again?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to get to the end of that 60 days of working out. I look better. Now I'm going to fucking party and ruin everything that you did. Or I went on that trip and now I'm going to fucking go back and drink. And let's talk. I fucking love money. So me and my counselor added up how much I was roughly spending. It was about 16 grand a fucking year just for me. And that was based off a 12 pack of about 13 to 16. Just call it $20 a day. And you start adding it up, and then the gambling, and then you end up at the bar, you buy drinks. It's way more expensive when you do that. Plus, you have the fucking 12-pack or the 30-rack. And the amount of money you waste is a trip to Iceland.
Yeah, I got blacked out in Bozeman, Montana, and I spent $400 on a hotel room. So
what if then, $400. You're like, I can justify it because now I have this excuse of I was drinking.
Yep.
Now my alcohol is telling me to buy the fucking motel room. And sure, you want it. Could you afford it? No. Fucking, but I'm going to do this because I'm not thinking. And imagine DUIs. It can ruin your fucking livelihood. It would have destroyed me if I would have. Not only just getting a DUI and paying for the fucking DUI and all the headache that comes along with it. Here I'm in, it's not a headache. Here I'm like totally volunteering to do my counseling, to go to AAs. But when you're forced to do shit, people naturally are like, fuck you. You gotta want it. You gotta want it. So when you're forced to go to these fucking AA meetings and you gotta get signed off, and when you're forced to go to your counseling sessions or go to rehab, you're already set up for failure. So our system's fucking disgusting. And then they charge you money. I love money so much. Like, I want my license so I can drive to work. Because if I can't get to work, then what? My job is on the road. What if I lose my job? Then I'm limited to a livelihood that I want to live. I can't travel. I just lost my license. So now I got to work at someplace that pays minimum wage or something. I can't put in what I want to get out because I'm restricted because I got a fucking DUI, or I fucking ran over a kid or a family, or fucking crashed into somebody and killed them. Then you get to live with that your whole life. Now people will do this fucking over and over and over and over again, and alcohol is never the problem. It's always, why is all this bad shit happening to me? And I don't want to go to the system that Boyd Andrews to get better. Fucking stupid. Those people don't fucking know what they talk about. But when you're forced and you're in the atmosphere, no wonder it drives people to fucking drink after they've been not wanting to quit, but now they're in trouble because they're drinking. They want to fucking continue to be that fucking way because now they're being told to sober up because of their actions. God damn, it's crazy.
Yeah, the money thing, you think it's like just buying the booze, buying the $4 shot or the $3 beer, but it's not. It's your time that you spend. Money is time.
Waste.
It's how much time you're putting in working, and then you're getting that back, right? So you're spending
if you choose to see it that way.
If you're spending that money on, so you're drinking, but then also you're going to order a bunch of food when you're hungover the next day. You're laying around being lazy when you're hungover.
Waste.
You're making decisions like buying a hotel or whatever the shit it is that you're buying when you're wasted. Because I've done not anything extreme, but spending way more money than I should. It's not just the booze.
Yeah.
It's affecting all of it. And then you hit the DUI in there, and it's out of proportion.
You're fucked by that time. I'm going to look up something real fast I seen. Okay, maybe I'll just tell you. It is a quote, maybe Elon Musk or somebody's quote, somebody famous, that time is money. And time, and maybe it's not technically money. That's how we value shit, $8 an hour, $10, $20, $30 an hour. That's money for an exchange for your time. But your time has value. So we're all born with time wealth. It's like, how do you want to spend it? You want to spend it in the fucking bar? Do you want to spend it traveling? And then you really start picturing, how much is my time actually worth? Nobody's like an expert when they start out at anything. They either suck at it and then they give up, but you keep getting better and learning. But your time we have time wealth. You have time wealth. I have time wealth. It's our time on this earth. That's wealth, not just money. It takes money to go on a trip, but it takes discipline to save the money because you're not in the fucking bar. So it has a ton of value. Your time has a ton of value. And when you're just going to give that shit away for free, actually you're paying to spend your time in a bar, and you think you're getting something totally out of it. Really, you're getting stories of drunks that are stuck on fucking repeat, telling the same time they went across the road, did a road trip, or the one time they told that one boss to fuck off. Or you ever notice how alcoholics fucking know everything? They fucking know everything. Oh, you don't want to quit your job, or you don't want to sell your house and live in your truck. Currently, I live in my truck. My podcast is based off of living in vehicles, traveling the fucking world, putting in what you want to get out, and all of it stems back to this sobriety and time wealth and making good use of your time, like you as a teacher, and everything you're doing now. And before, like, you had to go to school. You went to school, right?
Yes.
You had to put in time. You didn't just go to be a teacher in one day.
Right.
You prepared for it. So, like, you're totally meant to live this life, which is so cool to see.
Yeah. This point in my life and in my sobriety is the least amount of existential uncomfort and depression that I've ever had. Because when you are being useful with your time, I don't know. For me, I would get drunk and then I'd sleep the next day because I was like too hungover, like just stressed out all the time. So I'm like, oh, I'm wasting my time. Like, I knew that.
Yeah, you can feel it.
That anxiety.
It's a bad feeling.
That anxiety is lifted because I know that I'm being useful with my time. And now I actually can truly rest because I'm putting myself first. I'm making sure, okay, I am going to take the time to sit on my couch and read a book for an hour. I can't go. But when I do have the ability to be of service to others, then I'm going to do that.
You realize to rest. You're not being forced to rest because you're hungover, and then you feel like you're wasting time because you wasted time drinking to get to that point where you got to rest. Now you're taking rest time like serious. It's not another forced thing because you're sick to your stomach or puking in a toilet, and you're like, ugh, why? Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I don't know how maybe. Where else do you see the old podcast going here? Do you like this? Do you like the podcast idea? This is your very first podcast. How do you feel about that?
I have listened to podcasts that have changed my life. And so it's extremely exciting to be involved because I know there's things that I've listened to that have just like fundamentally changed the way that I think, the knowledge that I have. So it's really exciting to be on it. I think it's cool. You know, you kind of have this base of this is my experience getting sober.
Mike. It helps. Just move that thing right up there.
Okay. So you're getting sober. You're talking about traveling. You're talking about living in your truck. Just let it go wherever it's going to go.
Yeah.
You
Relax a little on the craziness.
And you're creating something. That's one of the coolest things that we can do with our time is creating things. And I think it just should be open to be whatever you want it to be. And it's going to naturally go wherever it's supposed to go.
So that's what I love about it. With my YouTube, which is a lot more work, a lot tougher to make a visual, edit it. This is a little easier. We can just go off and talk. But I want to see the progression, you know. Maybe look back one day and be like, man, look at that. 2 years ago, this was, and listen to it and be like, that's you and me talking about in the beginning of our sobriety, not just trying to remember how you felt, but now actually telling it right here and having it on record and being like, that's how I felt. Look how far I've come. Or maybe I had a hiccup or something and I need to go back and listen to myself and know that that's how I felt. The progression and the record. And you just never know what's going to happen. So fucking why not? I'm sick of excuses. Oh, I could start a podcast, but it costs money. This setup right here was, I think it was like $500 for the mics and the cables. And then this thing was like $200+. So it's under $1,000 to get into it right there. But I have a computer I have to edit it on. And I just can't wait to like, if you don't start, for me, I will always want to start doing this. But now I'm started. Now you're podcast number 5.
And so you're making this leap of faith to start doing it and you buy the equipment. How valuable is it that if one person listens to this podcast and is like, you know what, this dude's living his life and if he can do it, I can do it.
There it is. That's the same shit I got from multiple people that they don't even know that they affected my life. So if you are listening to this, or if this is Devin listening to this in 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, maybe you just don't know who it's going to affect for in the positive. Or maybe, you know what I don't want in a way is I kind of don't want. Why do I not want certain people to listen to it? I don't want maybe the people that I used to hang out with to listen to it and judge. But I can't care about what they think. You know, I can't. But in a way, for some reason, that sits in the back of my head. Oh, look at what Devin's doing. He's made this podcast. It's stupid. That ain't going to last long. Just like his sobriety ain't going to last long. I can't, you know, I've hung out with people that are that way.
Okay, I think one thing.
Grab that mic. Get it up there.
I think one thing is
you can move it around too. Go ahead.
That you feel that way about yourself. Those are your inner doubts that you're having, and that's why it's holding you back. 2,
it's not holding me back. It's just the realization as we go.
Sure.
Because I'm going to go.
Good.
I'm going full throttle.
But think about it like this. You starting this podcast and compare it to you bringing me to AA. So you brought me to AA, and in turn, I was like, how can this help my community? And now we have 10 people going to AA in Lincoln.
And I haven't even been to one. I'll come.
But it's because of me, and it's because of our friend from Cailey, but it's also because of you.
They want to go.
It originated with you taking that step. So you taking the step to start this, yeah, it's unlimited what the possibilities this could bring.
I did not have any idea that there was that many people going here. That's cool. Very good.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And it all started, well, my story started, but all it was us stepping into this sobriety world and then realizing, holy shit, there's more people in this fucking world. Thank God I'm not alone. When you're not alone, you're like, fuck, I'm not alone.
And this podcast gives people the ability from all over the world to hear your message.
Yeah. And be like, oh, wow. This Devan-Lepinski motherfucker is weird for one, but everybody is weird. I'm choosing to share it because it would drive me insane not to have, and not necessarily sobriety, but I've always wanted to share maybe my stories, all of my traveling stories. I have fucking so many traveling stories, and we'll have a traveling story, you and I, a moment, a fucking moment, a memory that lasts forever. And when we talk about it, it will just last forever rather than, oh, I got fucking wasted. Fuck, I don't want to live like that anymore. It's awesome. You know how good that feels? Like the endless possibilities. If you were to tell me that I was going to start a podcast or even quit drinking 1 year ago today, there's no fucking way. I would even, a lot can change in a year. A lot can change in fucking 5 minutes of drinking. So a lot can just fucking change. And here we are talking.
And you talking about this weirdo, da-da-da. That is the coolest gift that you could ever give anyone else, is to be weird in front of them. Because when
Embrace your weirdness,
when
man.
you are authentic, when you choose to be authentic, it gives space for the person that's listening to you to be authentic.
Yeah.
So I start going off about aliens and interdimensional beings, and if that resonates with someone else, and then they're like, whoa, I can be my true natural self right now. There's nothing better than feeling your true natural self.
Yeah.
It's honoring you. It's honoring the universe. It's honoring the person that you're with, because you're being vulnerable with them and sharing this part of you that you don't share with everyone. And it's like the most phenomenal gift that you could give someone is to be your weird, authentic self.
You have to be. Did you ever look back and envy people that were? And you're like, God damn, how the hell are they doing it? Why are they so comfortable in their own skin? We're our own worst enemies.
100%. When I first was thinking, I'm like, okay, I can help my community by bringing AA here. My first instinct was, what is everyone else going to think?
Dude, I was like worried. I was like, fuck, Cailey jumps in with feet first all the way. So me, my sobriety, I would have never even thought about starting an AA. I would just drive the extra hour to go to one and be like, that's what I need. That's the selfish me. But you're such a fucking kind-hearted giver. You're like, how can I help other people? Like immediately in your sobriety. And then it's like, oh, fuck, Cailey, maybe help yourself more. But you're like, but with you doing that, you are helping yourself more because you're helping other people all at the same fucking time. Why the fuck wasn't there an AA in Lincoln? You know?
And it's funny because I was like, what are my parents of my kids gonna think, and what are my staff is gonna think? That was my first thought. And then our wonderful old friend was like, fuck what anyone else thinks. You're either gonna do this or you're gonna die. And that's the truth of the matter, is that I know that I have to be active in my recovery to stay sober, to be able to do these things. And I still go to other meetings everywhere because I'm so early in my sobriety that I don't really know what I'm doing. Luckily, we have a friend that
you have heart. You have heart. You don't even have to know what you're doing. You just got to have heart and know that you're going in the right direction.
Yes.
Now,
absolutely.
Let me ask you this. And now you don't have to say the name of the establishment, but how hard was it to find a place for that AA meeting in Lincoln?
I had 3 churches tell me no.
So I thought churches were so giving and non-judgmental. And some of the worst people, some of the most judgmental people I've ever met have been in like an organized religion where they're like, it's just like us talking to the guy that never drank a drop of alcohol in their life. They don't understand. So why not help obviously alcohol is a problem in the community. Why not have a safe place for people to talk? And isn't a church a safe place? And they're not paying any taxes or nothing. But where did this AA end up being? You don't have to name the place, but
I think that I want to, because I am so thankful for them and the owners. So let me just tell you, I'll make it really quick. First, called a church. They said that their founding fathers did not allow any outside organization to hold any sort of meetings in their church.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. Call the next person. Oh, well, you need to get a hold of I don't know the religious terms, our pastor from Helena. So I'm like connecting all these phone calls. Doesn't end anywhere. No one ever calls me back. Third church I call, they aren't going to host us. So then I try our community hall, $50 a day.
They want money for it.
It's going to be $50 for us to sit in there for 1 hour.
No.
And then senior...
Who's running that? How come the community can't come together and be like, hey, the back of the hall is open. Flip on the lights. It's an hour. Call it 2 hours, setting up, taking down, not even. And that's a community thing. But whatever, keep going.
So I'm like, okay, our public library, call them. No, we're not allowing people to have meetings because of COVID.
Okay.
And so I'm like,
Excuse?
okay.
Yeah. But you can come in there and check out a book.
Yes. And I've seen...
You can bring the whole classroom down in there or something. That's cool. But no, it's a nice way of saying, we don't want your fucking alcoholic asses in there.
Yep. Because I saw
judgmental
collectives of cars sitting outside of the library. I'm like, what do you mean you're not having meetings? I know you guys are having meetings there.
For other things.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And so...
so you get no help there. But you don't give up.
No.
You don't.
And it wasn't me. It was another guy in our group that got a hold of the owners of Lampkins. And they said, you freely can use our spare room. They have like a meeting room where they do like big dinners and
goddamn
stuff.
back room at Lampkins.
The back room at the Lampkins restaurant and bar. And that owner graciously took us in. He doesn't want us to pay anything. He wants the waitress brings coffee. They offered to open the back door so people didn't have to walk through the restaurant.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I did not know. So it's been like probably 20 years since I've been in the back room at Lampkins. My cousin loves talking about the back room at Lampkins because it's like an unknown. It's all funny to us. Like, so what's funny about the back room at Lampkins,
I know,
goddamn, is this AA meetings in the back of a restaurant bar. And how fucking funny is that? But I mean, alcohol's everywhere, so fuck it. Who cares? I mean, there it is. That's a beautiful thing.
And you don't have to walk through the bar to get to it.
That's even better.
It's in the same building, but there's two different complete entrances that you don't have to be around it. But it is ironic that our community members, our library members, our church members
that we pay taxes for, and then other of those places don't pay taxes, and they never helped.
No, and they completely opened it up to us, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. Because now when I'm home, I can go to one. And I'm going to one tonight with you, but I got to drive myself because I'm going to go to work after that and all this shit. But yeah, and then there's one tomorrow in Superior, Montana, and I'll be going to that.
Perfect.
And I'd like to just say when I went to that one, there's not very many people in it, but they fucking love to see a new face. So since I've been gone, I've gone to, and it's okay to say I went to the one in Sandpoint, Idaho, and I went to the one in Superior, but there was nothing in between. And if there were at shitty times. They love seeing a new face and they love asking where you're from. And then it's like, holy shit, we all just know we're not alone. And maybe we could almost like wrap up this with knowing that we're not alone, and what you put in is what you get out, and like no fucking excuses. Like if you want sobriety and you end up listening to this and you made it this far in the old If You Haven't Been There podcast, then like you can do anything you want. You can do anything you put your mind to. And instead of giving in, Try to overcome some shit. And when you do that, it feels better. Anything that's hard is usually worth it. Like working out. Nothing happens overnight. We should totally wrap this up. What would your closing be?
Man, I don't know. Getting sober was the best decision I ever made in my life. And you get to create your own reality. That's time travel right there.
You get to live in it.
You get to
every
every decision that you make, you get to choose what is going to happen next. Leave the job, get rid of the abusive boyfriend, do what makes you happy. That's time traveling.
Chasing those good feelings.
Absolutely.
And they're amazing. They're fucking amazing. I wish I would have known a long time ago that it was possible. But maybe it happens when it happens. If you want to get sober, it's going to happen for you when you want it to happen. But there is hope out there. And that's what we're so early. Tomorrow's my 300 day, and yours was how many days?
About 120 somewhere.
120 days. And we're early in our sobriety. I would love to recap this at my year, you and me talking, and I want to do a video. Fuck. I want to wrap this up, but I got one more story about how I got sober. So, I've been fooling around with the idea of getting sober, not taking it serious, making jokes like I told earlier before. And an old girlfriend had come back into my life briefly, right? And it wasn't necessarily about hooking up or nothing like that. It was like, oh, I can help this person. She's obviously down and out all the fucking time. Like all the time. Nothing is ever her fault. And so she ends up back in Lincoln, our town. And she's like, she doesn't really ask for a place to stay. Anyways, I offered up. I'm gone. I'm like, you can stay at my house. I work on the road anyways. Stay there. I would be glad to help you. I totally loved you once. I know it didn't work out for us, but nothing would make me happier than to help you. But the only thing is I ended up seeing whoa, this is why the fuck we didn't work. But I was drinking this whole time. She was drinking this whole time. And then feelings somewhat start happening just a little bit. And I was like, feelings, you're like, holy shit. Do I still have feelings? It's a mind fuck. You're like, do I still have feelings for this person? But you're asking yourself that, but you're knowing deep down, no. You're like, no, I know better. I'm a fucking idiot. But then you're drinking. You're fucking drinking and you're like, no, we can easily have feelings again for each other. We had them before and stuff. And but it's like me driving away from AA and knowing that I'm saving my life. So I'm having happy tears. Well, something that you would think, oh, getting back together with a fucking ex. Oh, it feels so wrong. It feels right. It's wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, some time passes on. She's still staying at my place. And then I ask her to leave. She flips shit because I'm starting to feel those feelings. I'm like, what if I like this person again? And I know it's bad. We know how this ends. It ends in alcohol and fights and arguments. And it only happens when you're drunk. And so I ask her to leave, this person to leave, and she freaks. I see this side of her that I fucking hate, that I'm scared of. And she was like, fucking, I'll hit you, motherfucker, and freaking out on me. And I'm like, just leave, just leave. All this time I'm sober. I'm getting ready to go back to work. I just didn't want her in my house while I was gone. It fucking caused me a ton of anxiety. So I'm like, oh, I want to get rid of that anxiety. So she's got to go. Anyways, fucking, she freaks. I'll never fucking talk to you again. She leaves. I'm like, thank God she's gone. Midweek, she's like, I got nowhere to fucking stay. I'm like, okay. I was like, fuck. I ponder it for an afternoon. I'm drinking. I'm like, I hid the key over here. Go back there. And I end up the next weekend, some time passed. This was all within 2.5 weeks. Some time passes. She's gone. She wasn't there when I came home. And it's a Sunday. I got to go back to work, 2-3 hour drive to work. It's like I'm hungover in the morning. I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling shitty about myself. Not even with her involved or nothing, just me. And she calls me. She's got to move. She's got nobody to help her. Everybody's a piece of shit. Nobody will help her. I'm like, I'll help you. If you need help, nothing would make me happier than to help you. And honestly, I was feeling terrible about myself. I really need something to do. So I grab my truck, my trailer. I drive down to this other spot in Montana. And right when I get there, I'm going to help her load up all her stuff. She's gone. She's been on a bender, and she's gone. And fucking, so I end up loading up all her stuff, putting it on my trailer, filling up her truck that's there. I think her truck was there. And I fill my truck, the back seat, the back. The fucking trailer is full of her shit that I all moved for this person. She's not there to help. Anyway, she shows up. I'm like calling her. Her roommate's calling her. All the while, her roommate's like, yeah, she's been doing some heavier drugs than just drinking, dude. And she's just been drinking a ton. And I'm like, well, fuck, just pointing the finger, you are. And he's like, you want a beer? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll have a beer. Like, I'm a little stressed out. I got to drive back to Lincoln, Montana. And then I got to go to work somewhere fucking else, Thompson Falls or up by Noxon, 2.5 hours away. And this is a huge realization that I had that day. I help her. She comes back. She's got this dude with her that she's been hanging out with all night. Everything's been like, I'm like, fuck. How I just put myself in a situation to help this person. She doesn't fucking even want to help herself by any means at all. Then I help her move something from the basement up, and she's like, my roommate's just a fucking cocksucker, a piece of shit. I'm like, okay, so he thinks that about her. She thinks that about him. And then she's like, I'm going to go get us some food, or I got to drop this guy off that I brought. I'm going to go drop him off, and I'll come back. Anyways, I end up waiting there for like an hour after everything's packed up. Not even an hour. And I end up waiting, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. I know how she operates on her time, only her time. She's boozed up, gone on a bender and stuff. I'm like, I've just had 3 beers, sitting here stressed out about this. I'm like, I call her. I'm like, she doesn't answer. So she's clearly avoiding me. I got all her shit on my truck and trailer and all this shit. And I'm like, I call her. She's like, no. And so I leave. I'm like, you can fucking catch up with me. Now I'm starting to really feel bad, like that I'm helping somebody, because I was like, fucking, I could do good. And on the way home, I was like, all she did was point the finger at him, and all he did was point the finger at her. And I was like, they look terrible. The guy had to drive his kids, the roommate had to drive his kids to like Idaho somewhere, and he was fucking wasted. And I was like, that ain't right, driving your kids wasted to their moms or something. And I don't know if they dated or not, but anyway, she had this. It was a whole fucking nightmare. But when I left there, I was like, this is me trying to help somebody. I really need to learn how to help myself. This was August 1st. I park all her shit, unload it all by myself again, park it in my building, my shop that I had at the time. And she comes pulling in. She's like, oh my God, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, I want to tell her, like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. I just helped you, and you were fucking so mean. And I left that week. I went on a bender myself. I drank. That was on a Sunday. I drank Monday, Tuesday, and fucking Wednesday. August 4th. It might have been a Wednesday or a Tuesday. I drank that hard for 3 days. Gin, straight, with lime. And I woke up Wednesday morning and I was like, I got to help myself. I can't help anybody else if I can't even fucking help myself. And that is like one of the big points of me being like, holy shit. I wanted to kill myself. I was thinking about jumping off the bridge that night before I quit and like hanging myself. If I would have had a gun, I might have. I didn't. And I was like, I want to die. Why do I want to die? I'm calling my dad, my grandma, everybody. I'm like, I want to die. I don't know why I want to die. I fucking am sick to my stomach with who I've become, what I am, how I feel. I have my job. I have my house. I have a great career, retirement, all this shit. That's happiness. That makes me happy. But I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? Holy shit. I'm not happy because I'm fucking drunk all the time. And that was a big moment. Next thing you know, I call off work. I'm not coming to work. So I drive home. I have another realization on the way home. I'm like, I am a fucking alcoholic. Right when I look on my phone, I see Brandon Novak, a guy from Jackass. A professional fucking skateboarder is like, I struggled with heroin for X amount of years. And he had just hit his 6 years sober. And he's like, if you need my help or anybody's help, call my number. This is my number. I call him. Brandon Novak from Jackass and CKY and shit. I grew up. I loved skateboarding. I call him. He answers. And he fucking answers on the way home. And I'm like, holy fuck. He's like, you need a plan. He's like, thanks for being a fan and all this stuff, but you need a plan. How does it, so he helps me get into this rehab. But just the fact that he called was like, holy fuck, anything is possible at this point in my life. I'm starting to see that there's like a glimpse of hope. I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing, but I want to quit drinking. And this guy's made it 6 years off heroin and everything else. And I see how happy he is. And he answered his phone and he's talking to Devan-Lepinski in the middle of fucking Montana. Why? How did this happen? And so I go to Florida. I fly to Florida within a couple days to go to this treatment center that he represents. And I'm not going to downplay it, but when I'll follow my intuition. I'll follow it traveling, hitchhiking, fucking anything. Like in a relationship, sometimes we'll fucking neglect it, but my intuition is just like, I don't want to be in Florida. I don't want to go to this treatment center so far away from home. And I'm used to being away from home, but not to accomplish something that's so drastic, something that's so, I don't know. Anyways, like a true alcoholic or a drug addict, they think that being in control is the best thing. I was like, I think I can do this at home. So I flew back. I was in Florida for like 36 days or 36 hours and I flew home. It was costly. And I was like, I failed already. I'm flying home. Nobody knows I went to rehab. I went in the front door and I was like, I can't be in Florida. I'm not even going to check in and then give up, So I was like, fucking going home. I'll try it at home. And I got home and I was like starting to feel like a failure, starting to give up, starting to think, like I'll have a fucking drink again or something. And it was a crazy time. I got home. I call a place in Missoula, Montana. Wait, let me rewind. While I was in Florida, I talked to a friend that I'd known had struggled with some shit, drugs and alcohol. I call her. I'm like, what did you do? She's like, oh, I'm 6 months. She had some time, and she had been through it. So instantly I felt some comfort. And she's like, I'm going to an AA meeting Wednesday. I'm like, I'll come home. So I come back home. I'm like, okay, there is some support at home. I get home and I try another place. But all it is accountability. I need somebody to sign off, like a real fucking doctor to sign off so my insurance covers it and all this stuff. But nobody would do that. So I was getting pissed at people on Skype messages and stuff because of COVID. I was like feeling like giving up. And then that night I go to this AA meeting and I was like, holy shit. AA, and you don't know what to think in the beginning. They make it all about you. And so I went there and then I left. Sorry, it's getting long. I'll wrap it up. And I went. Now I'm like, holy fuck. I have this AA meeting. I talked to some AA people. They're like, call a doctor in Helena or in Missoula. You can get a doctor. So then that very night, I was like, talk to a doctor in Helena, Montana. I'm like, he's got an opening. So I go talk to this person. Now I have a fucking true plan. I'm going, but I don't know if it's going to work or nothing. So I go to this doctor and I fucking am there. And now I have him sign off on my short-term disability and all this insurance stuff. And I get to a point where I end up going to this AA meeting. I can just say it. There's one. If you ever need help, it's in Seeley Lake, Montana. It's fucking amazing. And if you want to quit drinking, you can go to these things. So I went there. And then after that, it was just like, okay, now I kind of have a structure. Now I got a doctor. And then the doctor referred me to a counselor who I did not like in the beginning, but now I fucking love her. And we've gotten to know each other, or she's gotten to know me, psycho. And got to that point. Now AA, now I have like this plan. 3 days a week. I'm seeing the doctor. I'm seeing the counselor. I'm going to AA. And then a lot of people will be like, you need to go a lot more. I was just finding a structure that works for me. There's no right 100% way to do it. And and to tell somebody that you got to go to 5 meetings a week. Otherwise, no, you got to do the 12 steps perfect. People don't do shit perfect. If you find a way that works for you, fucking stick with it and then step outside a little bit and a little bit as you go and learn as much as you can from multiple people and programs. But anyways, that's how I got here today. Tomorrow is 300 days, 299 days sober today is because of that process and the what ifs. And how is it possible that a professional skateboarder would pick up his phone? How is it possible that my company would put me through rehab and help me outpatient and save my life? How is it possible that I would have countless conversations with you about it? And how is it possible that it's because you want it. But there is support out there. And when you see support come from other people, it has an effect on you. So if somebody listens to this podcast, just know that there's help to live your life, to live your dreams, and put in work. You work at sobriety, you live your life. All right. That's it for my story. And I think it's it for the podcast. What do you think?
I think that sounds great. The last thing I wanted to add is that it's as easy as typing in Google AA meetings near me, and it'll populate your state. You pick your towns, and that's it. That's all you need. So it doesn't matter where you're at, you'll find it.
And we're going to go to one in Iceland.
Yes.
So let's wrap it up with that. Thank you for listening to If You Haven't Been There podcast. I know it went more off the rails with sobriety, but sobriety is number one in my life. I can't travel without sobriety. I can't be a good person without sobriety. So this is like why I'm here and why I'm doing this. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.